to Greece. Have a nice holiday. Ξαβλάς τον ήλιο κι άμμος να καίει. Welcome to Greece, have a nice day. Welcome to Greece, have a nice holiday. Πιάσε το αύριο μέσα στα χρέη. Welcome to Greece, have a nice day.
Γεια σας, είμαι ο Στίβεν Τσίτσος, είμαι βιολιστής, είμαι 22 χρονών, γεννήθηκα στο Thompson, Manitoba, στο Καναδά και ακολουθώ μουσική καριέρα. Growing up in Thompson was an experience. Now that I live in a much larger city, or a more metropolitan city, in Toronto, now just looking back on it, Thompson was a humbling experience. I'd say I do appreciate a city like Toronto much more, coming from a small community. Thompson is I think 15 or 16,000 people populated mining town, and they're not really known for their culture. They're known mostly for mining and hockey and those kind of things. Well, the Winnipeg Symphony actually does a northern tour of Manitoba, I think every 3 or 4 years. And that particular year they had a very famous and renowned Russian conductor by the name of Andrei Baroyko, who was touring with them. He asked around, and I was fortunate enough to play for him. And his exact words were that I'm a very promising young talent, and that I need to look elsewhere and beyond Winnipeg for lessons. Well, I started both violin and piano at a relatively late age. Most people I'd say most people who choose a career in music start relatively early, like 2 or 3 or around that age. I started when I was 10. So, and I didn't want to do anything else but play with my friends and enjoy my video games. My mom wanted me to be involved in art overall. Maybe not so, she didn't really have her heart set on music specifically, but she thought that'd be a good introduction for me. To both our surprise, I ended up being talented in it. And Thompson really didn't have any teachers or high caliber teachers. So after a while, we decided to start looking for new teachers in Winnipeg. Winnipeg, however, was 800 kilometers away from Thompson. So needless to say, we had to commute back and forth. At first, maybe between the ages of 11 and 13, maybe I'd travel twice a month. And soon it became a weekly thing. So I was forced to miss a lot of school, which, now looking back on it, I didn't really mind that much. And a lot of traveling was involved. And I think I owe a lot just to that process, because even though I slept most of the trip, it disciplined me in some way. It's hard to describe, but it was good overall, I believe. Well, my dad is a business owner. He owns a restaurant. Greek, go figure. but he's a huge soccer fan, and he always was, and he played when he was young, and he wanted me to become a professional athlete, which is common for most father figures, right? And he really wasn't seeing the. I guess you could say he didn't have the foresight to see where I could go with my potential. So he really wanted me to stick to sports. It's a good thing my mom changed his mind, but now now that he sees how successful I've become and how promising my talents have been, he tends to take more credit than anybody else for my success. Το Toronto θα έλεγα είναι η βάση μου, η μεγαλύτερη επιτυχία που είχα μέχρι τώρα ήταν μόλις έπαιξα στο Kerner Hall, που είναι μια καινούρια αίθουσα στο Toronto, και θα έλεγα τουλάχιστον το μισό ήταν γεμάτο με Έλληνες. Την ίδια χρονιά έπαιξα και στην Αθήνα για το debut μου. Και έπαιξα το ίδιο πρόγραμμα, ήταν βιολί με ορχήστρα και κλουστά στο Μέγαρο Μουσικής. Εκεί όλοι οι Έλληνες. Και ήταν μέχρι τώρα ένα από τα μεγαλύτερα κονσέρτα που έχω παίξει ποτέ. What I can tell you just from having performed here is that the local Greeks are very, I would say, open to coming to a classical concert, even though that might not be their number one thing to attend. And I personally felt that I was very well and warmly received, and I thank everybody who participated in the event, in organizing the event, and who attended. I believe it was a huge success, and I'm really hoping to come back to Montreal very soon. I love this city. Well, the next project that I'm going to be working on over the summer is an interesting CD, and it's going to be for solo violin with jazz quartet. So piano, bass, drums, and electric guitar. A lot of the program, or I should say most of the CD will have jazz, rock, and film music. So this is a completely different, I'd say, or many different genres that I'm going to be delving into. And hopefully the CD will be ready by sometime in September, and it'll give us some time to get ready for a fall tour. I'm going to be playing with a lot of fantastic local Toronto-based jazz musicians, and it should be something completely different than what most people who have already seen me perform are used to seeing.